I'm admitting. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming to the Rome info session. We'll get started in just a bit. We might wait a few more minutes to make sure some people can come in. This meeting is going to be recorded, so if we can keep cameras off, that'd be great. You're good. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So thank you for coming. I'm May. I'm a peer advisor at the Study Abroad office at Temple. I went abroad my freshman year with the Temple Rome entry program, and it was really cool to experience things there. I'm a graphic design major, and we did some excursions to different really art-rich cities. So it was definitely a really cool experience for me.
And Annalise, I'm another advisor here at the Education Abroad office. I'm a classics and anthropology major, and I also did the Temple Rome entry year program, so I spent all of last year in Rome. And what I really loved about my time in Rome was that since I'm a classics and anthro major, a lot of my classes focused around like ancient sites that were in Rome. So my professors would take me to these sites, and we got a lot of firsthand experience with the material that we were learning about, which was really cool. And I also love just getting to travel around Italy, visiting cities like Florence, Naples, Milan. That was a really cool experience. So yeah, all right. So today we're going to talk about why you might want to choose Temple Rome. Also going to look at some academic opportunities, so courses that we have, as well as other academic enrichment opportunities, internships, so how to apply for those and what options you have, what housing options are, some cultural enrichment opportunities that we have in Rome, challenges you might face and how we can support you through those, financing, and then how to apply. Just get
It is a video.
Okay.
Is it showing?
Mm-hmm. All right, so that video just gave you a little sneak peek of the campus and the city of Rome itself. So now we're just going to move on to some of the more technical bits. All right, so first we're going to give you a brief program overview. So this is what the campus in Rome looks like. It's just a singular building. It's about 4 or 5 floors. It's a renovated house, so it's called the Villa Caproni. And we've been there for about 50 years. So it's one of the oldest temple affiliated programs that we have. And it was just recently renovated. They spent all of last year fixing up the rooms. So now you've got perfect brand new building. So these are what some of the classrooms inside look like. And this picture on the left, you can also see the bridge. So the villa is actually located right next to the Tiber River. So when you're coming from your accommodations to the campus, you're walking right across the Tiber River, which is really nice. And it is right in the heart of Rome. So as you can see in this map on the right-hand side, it's right along the Tiber River. And if you walk about 5 minutes past campus, you'll reach Piazza del Popolo, which is a giant square, very important to Rome. As you can see, there's an obelisk in the center. And it also connects to the Via del Corso, which is the central street of Rome. It fans out and you've got a lot of like the big shopping centers there. And if you keep going down that road, you'll reach sites like the Colosseum, Trajan's Column, a lot of the really cool ancient sites. So very much in the heart of Rome. So some highlights are that we have professors from Italy, Europe, and main campus. The professors from main campus change a little bit every year. Like spring semester, I had a math professor who was from main campus, but most of the professors tend to be Italian, which is really cool because they get to give you a lot of insight into Italy itself. They can teach you not just whatever course materials you're learning, but also things about Italian and Roman culture. And there are also professors from elsewhere in Europe. So I had a professor, for example, who was from Belgium. So very much an international sort of campus. And we do have majors from across the university, bio majors, architecture majors, engineering majors. It's very spread out because there's only around 150 to 300 students. You get a really good mix of people from all different colleges. So it's really cool because you get to meet people that you wouldn't necessarily meet on main campus, especially because we do have people from different American universities coming as well. We've got like Duke, University of North Carolina, lots of different universities. So you can see students from 30+ institutions. And many of our courses are offered on site, and some courses also include academic excursions. So some of your courses, they might have one day during the week where you go to a different site in Rome and they talk about it. This is very common, especially in the art history classes or the classics courses. My Roman historians class, we would go every Thursday to a different site in Rome, and we would have a lecture there and kind of walk around the city. So it's a really fun way to get to learn the different sites in Rome. And for the academic excursions, those vary depending on the course. Not all of them have it, and normally there's a little bit of a fee, around like $200 to $300, that would cover your meals, lodging, any prices of the actual activities, and it's about 3 days a weekend. For example, there's you actually in Naples, and you get to see a lot of the facilities associated with the mafia. I know a lot of people who really liked that class. And there's also a Roman history class in the spring that's to Pompeii and Pestum. So these are very, very cool offerings that you're allowed to do. The terms available are fall, spring, academic year, summer 1, and summer 2. Summer 2 isn't offered every year, but that's only a 4-week course where you'd take about 1 class. Summer 1, you'd take about 2 classes. For terms and majors, students from basically any major can study abroad as long as you plan. So make sure you're talking to your academic advisor, figuring out which courses you can take abroad. Sometimes you might have to save some electives or gen eds, but I mean, just with a little bit of planning, you can normally find at least one major specific course that you can take. You should note that some classes are only offered specific semesters, so that's something to mind if you are equally deciding between fall and spring. For example, fall, we have biology and architecture classes, whereas spring will have some engineering courses. You can see the website for our full course offerings right now, and those would include internships, gen ed courses, and upper level courses. And you should also note that you do have to be a full-time student, so that's about 12 credits during the fall and spring semesters. For the summer 1, you just need 2 classes, and summer 2, you just take 1 class. Normally that's IH, which is why they say it changes every summer. So. All right, so course instruction is in English, except for language classes. Italian 1001 is required for semester students, but it just means you have to have taken it. So if you've taken it in the past, then it's not required. Same if you already speak Italian fluently, you could take a placement exam, and if you place out of it, you don't have to take Italian 1. We do encourage you, though, to take at least 1 Italian class, just because it shows that you're taking effort to learn the language, so it's going to help you get around the city. Even though there are lots of people in Rome that speak English, they do appreciate when Americans at least try to learn a few phrases, and then you can make friends with Italians, so it's really nice. And if you really, really want to work on your Italian, we do offer a combined Italian course. So that's Italian 1001 and Italian 1002 combined. It's 8 credits, and it is offered both fall and spring semesters. And this particular course is really nice because it's a small class size, and you get local Italian tutors. So these are students from different Italian universities, and often it's almost a one-on-one ratio. So you can have people really helping you advance in your Italian, and also a lot of people become friends with their Italian tutors. So it's a really good way to make friends with local people. And you'll also learn not just the Italian language, but also information about culture and Roman life. And then we'll also have a mix of both structured classes that are like lectures and exercises, and also on-site experiential learning. So you might go to like a cafe and have to practice ordering an espresso, or a gelateria and order a gelato. So it's a really good idea if you really, really want to work on your Italian. As for internships, these are all about 3 credits, and they are offered both fall, spring, and summer 1. We have 40+ unpaid internship opportunities with both Italian and multinational companies. You can work in a school, nonprofit organization, business startup. We've got art galleries and museums, local artists. There's pretty much something for every major, and they are coordinated through Rome campus staff. So you don't have to worry about finding your own placement. Everything's done through the campus itself. And this application process would start after your acceptance. So you do have to go through the normal application and be accepted before you can advance to the internship process. And this application process does include a faculty recommendation. So you have both of those. This is a quote from someone who interned. This person was a legal intern at a law firm, and they just noted how it prepared them for a dynamic global career, expands horizons. It's really, really great professional experience because you're not just doing an internship, but you're doing an internship abroad. So it really expands your perspective. And we also have lots of cultural enrichment activities. So when you first get to Rome, you'll have a week-long orientation, which helps you learn not just about the campus, but about Roman life. It really prepares you to integrate into Italian society. And it's complete with a welcome celebration and luncheon. So you get to have a lot of fun Roman food. And then throughout the semester, there are a series of lectures that talk about a wide variety of topics, some topics that are important to Roman life, adjusting to being away from home, things like that to help you get used to the experience of being abroad. There's also the Temple Rome Gallery of Art. So the art exhibition changes every so often. You can go and see student work as well as work from various artists around Rome. And we also have a day where you can do Italian cultural labs, and they have a lot of really cool offerings. So you might practice your Italian with while playing with dogs. There's also ricotta making. I believe there's even a fashion lab too, where people got to go to the house of Fendi and good stuff like that. There's a music one. There are a ton of different offerings, and everyone loves that every semester. And then there are also lots of student activities. So I think we have pictures on the next slide. Those, yeah. So there's a wine tasting, an olive oil tasting. There's an Italian conversation club that meets every so often where you practice your Italian with the Italian tutors, but you don't have to be an Italian to attend that. So even if you're not taking an Italian language course, but you still want to maybe practice a little bit, that's a really good opportunity. They also have calcetto nights where you can play a form of soccer with students from other universities, and also cooking classes where you go to someone's house and they teach you how to make like tiramisu, homemade fresh pasta, and it's a really, really cool time.
So for housing, there's program arranged housing, which varies by term. For spring 2023, the homestays are not offered. There's also independent housing. So this is about 25% of students choose this option every term. This is where instead of either student housing or the homestays, you chose to find an Airbnb or something on a similar website for yourself. And this gives you the freedom to choose your location a bit more. Maybe you want to be closer to campus or further from campus. And it also assures that you'd be living with who you want to live with. Housing capacity is based on a rolling admission, so you would let us know which housing type you want. And then based on when you submit your application, you'll get it or not, depending on how many other people have applied for that same kind of housing. So when you're thinking about applying for housing, you need to think about if you have a plan to live in program arranged housing and if there's space available. The challenges with studying abroad are there's problems with, littering, stuff like that. Traffic is a big thing. Like Rome is crowded, it's a very touristy city, so there's lots of traffic. But there's also homogeneity and traditions. So some of the Roman customs may feel a bit more conservative compared to US customs. People may be a bit more reserved to themselves than we are in the US. You also have to consider that when you're studying abroad, you are still at school, hence the studying part. So make sure that you're able to still balance schoolwork with life abroad, but also make sure that you're still taking time out of your schedule to go and explore and take advantage of the fact that you are abroad. Another big challenge is loneliness and homesickness. You're more independent when you're abroad. You're far from the people you love, your family, especially if this is your first time really going away from home. Then homesickness can be a huge thing, but there are definitely ways to resolve that. You'll find a community Something I did is I never go to McDonald's in the US, but in Rome, when I felt homesick, I'd just pop by McDonald's and have a burger, and that would help. There are also program adjustments due to COVID-19, restricted travel. When we went, we were not allowed to travel outside of Italy because of the risk that we might get trapped in another country if they decide to close down the border when we're there. So there's also business closures and the possibility of a quarantine or isolation in a foreign country, which they do just kind of warn you about. If you are going to go abroad, make sure that you check the color of the region. If it's like red, you don't want to go to that region because you may get stuck there. We also have lots of support on our campus. There's the student services staff, which is Francesca, Benedicta, Maura, and Gianni. They're super nice people. You can go up to them anytime if you have any questions, and you'll see them around the campus. They're really super sweet, and they get to know you on a more personal level. There are also alumni assistants. Those are people who are really there to support you, talk to you, especially if you have problems with feeling homesick, because these are people who have done the same, who have also studied abroad, so they will have experienced those feelings you're experiencing. There's also international SOS if you're ever find yourself in a bad situation. And our campus also has a licensed clinical therapist available for appointments and also a doctor. So if you're having any health issues, you can go to them, contact them. During orientation, they'll give you their contact information so that anytime you have an issue with that, you can contact them and see them. And then also keep in mind you have each other. This is most people's first time abroad, so you'll be going through all the same emotions, all the same excitement. So definitely don't be shy to lean on each other for support. So for applying to Temple Rome, we're going to discuss eligibility, the application requirements, and the deadlines. So to be eligible, you have to be a currently matriculated full-time student. That means that you're not part-time. You also have to have completed at least 2 semesters of college. If you're a Temple student, you have to have done 2 semesters at Temple. And if you're a transfer student, then at least 1 semester at Temple. You have to have a cumulative GPA of 2.75 for the semester, 2.5 for the summer, and then if on top of that you want an internship, you have to have a 3.0. You have to be in good academic and disciplinary standing. If for some reason you aren't, there is a way to send in a form and let us know your situation, what happened, why you might not be there right now. But it is on a case-by-case basis. So if you're not in good academic and disciplinary standing, it's not assured that you will be able to go abroad. And then some upper level courses abroad have some prerequisites that you have to have taken. So that's more for if you want to take those courses, you would have had to take the prerequisites on main campus. You can apply online on our website, studyabroad.temple.edu. If you go under the program exploration tab and click on Rome, there should be an apply now button. You also have to have an academic advisor recommendation from a form for Temple students, and have talked to your academic advisor. And then architecture students must also submit a portfolio and apply through a different application, as well as the one I believe on our from our office. The deadlines are April 1st for the fall or academic year, October 1st for spring, and February 15th for the summer. Keep in mind that passports are due soon after the application deadline. We'll speak a bit more about that later as well. So it is rolling admissions, so make sure you apply early. The best time to submit your application is the first day that you are able to. So definitely don't push it off, because depending on how many people apply, you'll have better chances of getting in if you apply as early as possible. You'll typically hear from us 2 weeks after you submit. That can vary a little bit depending on, again, how many applications we have to look at. So if it is a little bit over 2 weeks, don't freak out. It could be that we're still just looking into them. You want to secure your place in the program with the $200 program deposit within 2 weeks of your acceptance notification. That's important just to let us know that you're committed to going. And then the housing capacity is also on a rolling basis. So depending on when you get your application in, you may get housing, especially the type of housing that you want. One thing about housing is it does fill up faster than the actual admission to the program. So you may be admitted into the program, but not get the housing you want. So it's definitely very important to apply early. So some people might be worried about how they can find has cost sheets available online. All Temple students pay their Temple school or college tuition. So if you're at Fox, you'll be paying Fox tuition. If you're at Tyler tuition, like that. And then all federal and state financial aid can be used towards the program. So if that's something that you're receiving on main campus, it will transfer to Rome. And if you do need more financial aid, consult with Student Financial Services about your aid package. They will definitely be able to help you and answer any questions that you have. If you scan the QR code on this slide, it'll take you to our website and the cost sheets for this program. I'll just give a little second for people to do that right now. Okay, I'm going to move on. So we also have scholarships on top of financial aid. Our office offers scholarships for the semester and summer for all majors. So definitely look on our website for those. There's also outside funding that's available on our website. You can find that under the scholarships tab, and you can search for that by major, by program. So look into what scholarships may be applicable for you. There's the Gilman Scholarship, Foundations for Global Scholars, the Vera Hines Scholarship, and diversityabroad.com will also have some. We also have some scholarship workshops that you can sign up for at our office. So definitely start applying to scholarships early. The worst thing that happens is you don't get one, but if you apply for lots, it's always free money if you do get it. So it's a smart idea to just apply to as many as you think you can or think that you're applicable for, and then do your own research. There's also lots of outside scholarships that you can find. You want to make sure that you have a valid passport. A lot of programs require passports a lot earlier than your actual travel date. So if that's something that you don't have, or maybe you have one, but it's going to be invalid soon, make sure that you get on renewing that. It'll be important to have that for your application process. Another thing is that you have to have your passport valid for 6 months after the end of the program. So if you say you want to travel abroad in the fall, next fall, but your passport is only valid till, August, you have to renew it so that it will be valid by the time that you travel abroad and for 6 months after the program. We also have a passport scholarship, which is available to anyone who is a freshman and has never had a passport before, or who is a transfer sophomore and has never had a passport before. If that applies to you, this is a really good passport scholarship, because you just go through the process, you get your passport, and then you send us the receipt and we will refund that entire process. Passports can be expensive, so definitely if this applies to you, make sure you look into that. You can scan this QR code to start your renewal or application process today, or you can go to travel.state.gov, content, travel, that link. It's a long one. So the key takeaways are that we have a broad range of academic options. So no matter your major, you should find something that you can do in Rome to advance your studies and push you towards graduation. We have flexible housing, 3 different housing options: the homestays, the student housing, and independent housing. You'll have a lot of cultural enrichment with our excursions, the Italian cooking night, the wine tasting. There's also lots of student support. Now you know how to apply and how to finance it. So if there are any questions, we can take those now.